الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والجنة للموحدين والنار للملحدين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيبنا الممجد أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم وغاصبي حقوقهم وقاتليهم أجمعين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في قرآنه المجيد والفرقانه الحميد وقوله الحق بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الدين عند الله الإسلام. صلوات. Past few nights and for the next consecutive 7-8 nights, we'll be talking about what the purpose of our life is on this earth and how we should be able to perfect our lives in light of the teachings of the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, and specifically through the events of Karbala and the sacrifice of Hussain ibn Ali alayhi salam. But we must understand that since we call ourselves the followers of the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, the lovers of the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, the question arises that is it enough that I commemorate Hussain ibn Ali from the 1st of Moharram till the 10th of Moharram, or does the commemoration of the martyrdom of Hussain ibn Ali live on a daily basis in our lives? And you have that famous couplet in which it stated كل يوم عاشوراء كله أرض كربلاء, that every day is Ashura and every land is Karbala. When we say this, do we truly mean what we are saying, or do we forget that Hussain ibn Ali, the sacrifice that he made for our sakes, do we remember that on a daily basis or not? You have the dua, the salawat al-sha'baniyah, narrated to us by our fourth Imam, Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam, in which there are 3 lines you recite it every day after your daily prayers in the holy month of Sha'ban, in which the Imam states وَالْمُتَأَخِّرُ عَنْهُمْ مَارِقٌ والمتقدم عنهم زاهق واللازم لهم لاحق, that those who precede them will surely drown, those who miss them or stay behind them will surely miss out, and those who are with them are those who are on the win, or those who are successful. What does this mean? This means that when we look at the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, we look towards the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, we should always make sure that we are neither ahead of them nor are we behind them, but we are walking on par with them, meaning that whatever the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam do, we do. Whatever they forbade us from doing, we do not do, and whatever they advised us to do, we should do. But what do? And we can relate ourselves to the famous dream of Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari, where he came to the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said that, "O Prophet, I have seen a dream. In that dream, I see a rope coming from the skies onto this earth. and I see people flocking towards this rope, but I do not see anyone holding onto that rope. I see people grabbing onto strands of that rope. Can you please explain what does this mean? The Holy Prophet smiled and replied that rope which is coming from the skies onto this earth is Islam and we the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. But people are not holding on to it as a whole. People are only holding on to those aspects of religion and those aspects of what we like from Islam. And we're not holding on to Islam as a whole. And there are numerous examples of this. For example, for the women, it may be hijab. Why is Islam forcing us to cover ourselves? Or for the men, why do we have to keep a beard? But know that once we have accepted Islam, we must accept everything that has been laid down within Islam. And those aspects of Islam, like I said in my first lecture, that there are certain aspects of Islam which we do not like, which we may not necessarily see the benefits of. But at a later stage, once our intellect increases, our knowledge increases, then we are able to understand the benefit of that what Islam has ordered us. And I've always said that Islam is not a religion. Islam is a way of life. Islam is a complete way of life. And for us to be successful, then we must start accepting that Islam is a way of life. Islam teaches us the best social manners. Islam teaches us the best of etiquette. No other religion, no other society, no other community or culture can ever beat Islam. That is what we must accept. This Islam which is portrayed in the West or in the masses, that is Islam which has been advertised by the enemies of Islam. The Islam of the Holy Prophet is what? قُلْ لَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ أَجْرًا إِلَّا الْمَوَدَّةَ فِي الْقُرْبَى. That is the Islam of the Holy Prophet. That he does not want any reward but that we show love towards his next of kin. This is the message of Islam. And hence why we greet each other with Salaamu Alaikum. That we come with the message of peace. We come with the message of love. This is what Islam is. Not what is being portrayed in the Western world. I remember after the 9/11 attacks, there's a famous joke going around in the UK and the Western world of how the West portrays Muslims. And they gave two incidents. That one is in Central Park, New York, a dog attacked a little girl. And a non-Muslim, a white person, came and killed the dog whilst saving the little girl. Next day, breaking news that a hero helps the little girl by killing the dog. The same incident takes place with a Muslim. The Muslim person also kills the dog and saves the girl. But the next day, breaking news is that barbaric Muslim kills the dog. And they completely forget about the fact that he saved the life of a little girl. This is how Islam is being portrayed in the West and in the eyes of the non-Muslims today. And we, unfortunately, we are not helping matters. That we fall under what is being portrayed. For example, I myself, whenever I open the news and I see a terrorist attack is taking place, the first thing that comes into my mind is that I pray that the person who committed these atrocities is not a Muslim. That's the first thing that comes into my mind. And you can see yourselves about the same atrocities which take place by a non-Muslim and the same atrocities take place by a Muslim, and see how the media narrative is. And the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has also told us and taught us that whatever field we go into, we make sure that we become the best at it. The Holy Prophet taught about media, and the perfect example is the event of Ghadir. If we go back to Ghadir and we see how the Holy Prophet held between 75 to 120,000 people in the event of Ghadir for 3 days. Now, if we go back to the event of Ghadir, and as the ritual is even today, that those who come back from Hajj, the whole family goes to greet them at the airport. Or at least 2 or 3 members of the family go to the airport to greet them. And then when they come back home, they see that the whole family has gathered because this person has come back from Hajj. In that time and age, 1400 years ago, people would come to the outskirts of the city to greet those who are returning back from Hajj. The event of Ghadir, the Holy Prophet had already announced before that this is my last Hajj. Therefore, people were flocking in the thousands. And those who were not able to go were waiting on the outskirts of the city to receive the Hajis and congratulate them, and also ask them how the Hajj was with the Holy Prophet. It is the last Hajj of the Holy Prophet. Yet in those days, it's not the way it is today, that if I'm flying out of the UK at 6 a.m., I know for a fact that I will arrive in Kuwait at 6 p.m. In those days, travel was measured by days. So for example, from Makkah to Medina, for example, let's say it takes 3 days. So on the 3rd day after Eid al-Adha, the people of Medina would come to the outskirts of Medina because they know that from Hajj, the 10th of Dhul Hijj, it takes 3 days for the Hajis to return back to Medina. Therefore, on the 3rd day, on the 13th of Dhul Hijj, the people of the city are on the outskirts, waiting to receive the Hajis. Yet, what happens? They go on the 13th of Dhul Hijj, and they see that no one is there. And there's no mobile network. There's no mobiles at that time. There's no email to send them a message asking, where are you? Why are you delayed? Therefore, they go back. They come back on the 14th. Same thing, no one is there. Go back, come back on the 15th. On the 15th, when the Hajis are arriving back to the city of Medina, what is the first question that is on everyone's mind? The first question on every single person's mind is that, what took you so long? Why is it that when you were meant to arrive on the 13th, you're now arriving 3 days later? What is the purpose? They will not ask how your Hajj was. They will not ask how your travels were. First thing on every single mind, one person's mind is, what took you so long? And they have no choice but to reply that the Holy Prophet stopped us at the event of Ghadir. Why did the Holy Prophet stop you at the place of Ghadir? Because he announced the wilayat of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. Therefore, the first narrators of the event of Ghadir are anywhere between 75 to 120,000 people. The second narrators are those who came to the outskirts of the city to greet the hosts. They're all being told the same thing. Now, the Prophet stopped us because he announced the wilayat of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. Therefore, that 120 becomes double, triple. This is the media mind of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is how he spread the wilayat of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam to the masses. We can learn. And I advise the parents that, unfortunately, I do not know about how the Arab culture is, but in the Indo subcontinent, the situation is that our parents only wishes to go into a select few careers. So your children in the subcontinent, your children are only allowed to become lawyers, doctors, surgeons, engineers. Anything after that, then no, you're an embarrassment to the family. I'll give you my own example. When I was a child growing up, I wanted to become a fireman. There's this cartoon called Fireman Sam. I used to love it. And I used to watch it. And with that, I said that I want to become a fireman. One day, a guest came to our house, and as is culture, the uncle asked, son, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said, I want to be a fireman. And the uncle said, it's good, it's nice, congratulations, and I wish you all the best of luck. As soon as the guest left, my father came after me. And what do you mean you want to become a fireman? You're embarrassing me. You have to become either a lawyer, doctor, engineer. And unfortunately, this mindset still exists. But my advice to the parents is, let your child become whatever he wants. as long as it is within the frameworks of Islam, and help them become the best. And at the same time, teach them that whatever field you want to go into, do not go into it because of the income, the earnings. A lot of us today, this is what university and college teaches us, that you're going to select fields of work because of the income. It is no longer that I want to become this because I want to. No, it's now that we look at all the careers, and the first one we look at is amount of income. The highest income is the field that I will go into. No, go into whatever you are at ease with. And do it qurbatan ilallah, so that you become the best at it. Not that. Unfortunately, it's a rat race in the colleges and universities today. This minbar, the minbar of Hussain ibn Ali, is the greatest university in existence. It is the university of life. What you are taught from the minbar of Hussain ibn Ali, from the minbar of Ghadir, from the minbar of the Holy Prophet, cannot be taught anywhere else. Right? Normal universities, careers, go into whatever you wish. But do it with the intention that you want to become the best at it. That is the intention you should always have. Then, as is the same with everything. Whatever you go into, whatever you do, try your best. Leave the rest in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Otherwise, when it comes closer to the time of exams in colleges, high schools and universities, you have the youth coming up to me and saying, Maulana, I have my exams. Please, can you give me a ta'weez? Can you give me a dua? Can you give me an amal? So that I pass with flying colors. The first question I ask the youth is, have you revised? And all of them turn around and say, yes, we have revised. Ask them a second question. Have you revised to the best of your capabilities? Do you know that you have tried your best? If they say yes, I'm going to leave the rest in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If they turn around and say, no, I could have tried it a bit more, then that is your own fault. Right? Always know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will always support his followers. But you have to have that intention. And the same with regards to life. That we must look at the aspect of the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, and whatever issues we face in this life today, know that the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam have already gone through it. And we can learn from them. I'll give an example for the youth. And imagine you come to the center, you're standing to do wudu, and you see an elderly gentleman doing wudu incorrectly. What would you do? Be honest. 99% of us will turn around and we start smiling, we start laughing. That an old person in his 70s, in his 80s, he still doesn't know how to do his wudu. I'll be honest, if I was put in that situation, I'd start laughing as well. That this person who's lived his whole life, yet doesn't know the basics of wudu. Yet, let us go towards Imam Hassan and Imam Hussain. They faced the exact same situation. What did they do? They knew that it is their duty to guide and to correct the man. But they also know that they have to correct the person without embarrassing him. What do? They go to the old man and they ask, can you please see which one of us is doing the wudu correctly? The old person stood back and looked at them. Then he realized his own mistake. And he said, no, both of you are correct, I am incorrect. And thank you for correcting me. The old person was corrected, and at the same time, he was not insulted or embarrassed. The youth of our time, what would we do? Yes? Well, in every aspect of life, how do you behave? And would the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam behave in the same manner? This is what we must look at, salawat. That whatever we do in today's society, and know that the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam are up until the Day of Judgment. The Quran, the knowledge of the Quran is until the Day of Judgment. And that our religion will change according to our intellect. Islam is an ever-evolving religion. The way our intellect changes, our understanding of Islam will also change. And we will have a better understanding of Islam. But once again, it comes down to when I'm in the public, when I'm alone, do I think Islamically? Do I think what is correct and what is incorrect from an Islamic perspective? Or do I think of what is right and what is correct and what is incorrect from the society's point of view? That we all, our whole life, what do? We're constantly living to earn the respect of others. How many of us are constantly living to earn the respect of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam? That respect which we earn within society will be lost within seconds. But the respect that we gain from the Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam is different. With the respect of the Ahlul Bayt, we gain and we are given their blessings. That's a small piece of advice. That when we go to visit our elders, our parents, what do? We make sure that we take gifts with us. Especially the little youth, the little children. They will always take something with them to give to the grandparents, to the elders. And innate nature is that we expect something in return. And naturally, we will always get something in return, but at the same time, we will also get their blessings. Now imagine if we gifted to the Imam of our time a small gift on a daily basis, which is only 5 minutes of your time out of 24 hours. 5 minutes, everyone I believe will sit down and say, yes, we can give. We can gift 5 minutes out of 24 hours to the Imam of our time. What is that 5 minutes? That 5 minutes is reciting of Surah Yasin. Recite Surah Yasin and gift it to the Imam of your time. And see what you get in return. You will be gifted, and at the same time you will receive the blessings of the Imam of your time. Yes, for those who are not in the habit of it, Surah Yasin may take 7-8 minutes, 10 minutes. But once again, once you put yourself into the habit of it, that time will come down to 5 minutes. But it's all about putting yourself into the habit of it. And that is what life is. That there is something that we wish to do. If we want to do it, the most important is that we have to mentally prepare ourselves. And then put ourselves into the habit of it. And the best way to recite Surah Yasin and gift Surah Yasin is before you fall asleep. Right? I won't tell you to recite Surah Yasin after Namaz Sobh, for example. Because after reciting Namaz Sobh, everyone wants to go back into bed. Right? Just before you fall asleep. And at the same time, Namaz al-Shab. Namaz al-Shab, it is highly recommended that you recite it after you fall asleep and you get up again. That is the correct way. For Namaz al-Shab is that you fall asleep and then you wake up before Namaz al-Sobh and recite Namaz al-Shab. But for those who are not able to do so, then you recite Namaz al-Shab before you fall asleep. You have the same reward. And Namaz al-Shab is one of those mustahab prayers in regards to whom the Ahlul Bayt alayhim have stated that if you miss your Namaz al-Shab, then perform the qadha of this namaz. Namaz al-Shab is highly recommended. And you will all immediately see the benefits of reciting Namaz al-Shab. There are numerous amals, which I say that sometimes you do not even need to start. As long as you have done the niyat, the intention, you will start receiving the benefits. One is Namaz al-Shab. Second is the daily reciting of Zat Ashura. The minute you make the intention of reciting that, from today onwards, I will start reciting Zat Ashura on a daily basis, you will receive the benefits. Straight away you will see the benefits. And Zat Ashura is one that is recommended that You recite for fulfilling of your wishes. And I've seen numerous people, we have time to some on that, I had this difficulty in life, and I made the intention of reciting Zat Ashura, and my wishes were fulfilled. But once again, it comes down to this, that yes, I made the intention and my wishes were fulfilled before I started Zat Ashura. Does not mean that once your wishes have been completed, you stop. You make sure you carry on. And as is with everything, we're in the habit that once we have gained what we need, we'll stop. Right? The reciting of Zat Ashura, the reciting of Namaz al-Shab, reciting of numerous other du'as is something which you will constantly receive benefits with. Not that it is secluded just to fulfillment of one wish. No, it is fulfillment of all your wishes. And at the same time, when it comes to hajat, your wishes, a lot of people ask me, Maulana, I've prayed my namaz on time, I've done all the amals necessary, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not listened to me, and He has not fulfilled my wish. Therefore, what is the purpose of me praying? Firstly, you must understand and accept that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not in need of our prayers. 5 daily prayers is wajib. It's not because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala needs us to worship Him. It is because we are in need of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Second, Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib al-Islam states that there are times where one will ask for his hajat, his wishes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they will not be fulfilled. The reason that they will not be fulfilled is because that is not, whatever you're asking for is not what you are in need of. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you what you are in need of, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows us better than we do. And how many of us can tell us that we know ourselves better than anyone else? And then when we look in light of the Ahlul Bayt alayhimu salam, and we look towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then we realize that we know nothing of ourselves. And we will never be able to comprehend ourselves, both the physical body and the spiritual bodies. There's something which we cannot comprehend. We have doctors in our midst. We have scientists. You can ask them, that has mankind fully understood the workings of the physical body? They're trying to say no. Yet, we unfortunately have that arrogance. Why? Because we are the most powerful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's creations. We walk on this earth as if we own this earth. But know that this earth would not have been created had it not been for Fatima Zahra salam alayhi. This earth would not have been created had it not been for the Ahlul Bayt alayhimu salam. And wherever we walk on this earth, think that we are walking on the land of Fadak. When we talk about the land of Fadak, we think that Fadak is a small piece of land about 130 kilometers from the city of Medina. But that is where we are mistaken. The land of Fadak is wherever a lover of the Ahlul Bayt alayhimu salam lives. And the proof of that is the adhan, which you give on a daily basis. And if you look at the time and how time changes, we see that wherever one adhan finishes, another adhan begins. And the adhan is constantly being cried out over a 24-hour period. There's not one place on earth where you can say that adhan is not being recited. Therefore, this whole earth is the land of Fadak. And we have the example of our 10th Imam, when he was asked by the tyrant of the time, and he was told that, the Imam was told by the tyrant that, I wish to give Fadak back to you, you're right. The Imam started to smile. And the Khalif goes, why are you smiling? I'm being serious, I wish to give Fadak back. The Imam goes that you will not be able to give Fadak back to me. Why? do you know the boundaries of the Fadak? And the Imam at that time gave the boundaries of the Islamic Empire and said that this is Fadak. Therefore, Fadak means Imamat. And wherever a follower of the Ahlul Bayt alayhimussalam lives on this earth, that land is Fadak. Therefore, when we walk out on the streets, when we live, learn to be humble. Know that this earth is not ours. Know that this earth belongs to the Ahlul Bayt alayhimussalam. This earth belongs to the mother of the Ahlul Bayt, Fatima Zahra salamullah alayhi, and no one else. Once again. And at the same time, I'm going a bit off track. I know, especially for the crowd which is here for the English. And don't take me in the wrong way. But my advice for those who are living in Kuwait, for example, is that try and learn Arabic. Because Arabic is the language of the Ahlul Bayt. Arabic is the language of the Holy Quran. You do not need to learn the colloquial Arabic, the local language. No, even if you learn the formal Arabic, I know a lot of you are busy with work, for example, and do not have the time to learn Arabic. But as long as you can turn around and say to yourselves that I have tried my best to learn Arabic. I'm not attacking anyone, but those who are able to, do learn Arabic, and specifically teach your children. I know that a lot of the expats are probably sending their children to English schools where they're taught in the English system. But at the same time, same way that you hire tutors for them for maths, English, sciences, hire tutors for them to teach and learn Arabic. And at a young age, a child is able to absorb. A child is like a sponge. They're able to absorb everything. And whatever they learn in their childhood, they're able to keep until the end of their lives. Therefore, practice. And make that attention that as long as I am here, I will try to learn Arabic so that I can at least understand the language of the Quran. So that I can at least understand the language of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. Any other hadith of Amir al-Mu'mineen, that if you wish to speak with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then recite the holy namaz. And if you wish that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks with you, then recite the Holy Quran. Now what better deed is there than me knowing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is speaking with me? Yet it is unfortunate that I'm not able to understand the language. And for those, there's a trick of trying to understand the Holy Quran. If you wish, if Arabic is not your first language, and if you wish to understand the Holy Quran, then try and understand the last chapter, the 30th chapter. Because whatever word exists in the 30th chapter exists in the rest of the Holy Quran. And you will not find any new words in the first 29 chapters. All the words that exist in the first 29 are all in the 30th chapter. Therefore, try and memorize the 30th chapter or understand the words and the meanings of the 30th chapter. Once you have understood that, then you will be able to understand the rest of the 29 chapters. Salawat. And at the same time, know that the Quran in itself is just the 30th chapter. Everything else from the first chapter till the 29th chapters is a collection of the first 3 holy books. The Old Testament, the New Testament, and the Psalms of David. That is what the first 29 chapters are. The Quran in itself is the last chapter only. And this, when you study the history and the sciences of the Holy Quran, you will understand this. But, once again, we need to have that love with the Quran. Unfortunately, there are two groups today. One is that group which has taken hold onto the Holy Quran and forgotten the Ahlul Bayt. And the other is one that has held on to the Ahlul Bayt and forgotten the Quran. We are those who must hold on to both. And as with the hadith of the Holy Prophet, that he leaves behind two holy weighty things, the Quran and the Ahlul Bayt. Therefore, we must hold on to both. One is Quran al-Samit, the other is Quran al-Natiq. Quran al-Natiq is that, or those who have explained the Holy Quran to us. The Holy Quran, which is the living and the biggest miracle of the Holy Prophet of Islam. Today, if you were to ask anyone, whether he's a Muslim or a non-Muslim, and you were to ask him what is the biggest miracle of the Holy Prophet, every single person will reply that the biggest miracle of the Holy Prophet is the Quran. Yet, it being the biggest miracle of the Holy Prophet, how many of us have understood the Holy Quran? How many of us have read the Holy Quran? Well, unfortunately, what do? When we have the Holy Quran, because it is a holy book, out of respect, we wrap it up in good clothing and we keep it on top of the shelf. The only time we take the Quran off is if someone has passed away or in the holy month of Ramadan. That is not us respecting the Holy Quran, that is us disrespecting the Holy Quran. To respect the Quran must be read. To respect the Quran must be understood. And once again, with that most important, the Quran must be understood with the teaching of the Ahlul Bayt. Without the Ahlul Bayt, we will never be able to understand the Holy Quran. And we can see it on those. That those who have tried to understand the Holy Quran without the teaching of the Ahlul Bayt are surely at a loss. But those who have understood the Quran with the teaching of the Ahlul Bayt are the most successful today. And are those who will be remembered until the end of times. Therefore, we have to learn to change our habits accordingly, according to Islamic teachings, and know that Islam is not a difficult religion to practice. We have made Islam difficult upon ourselves. Not Islam is what? Islam is the 10 furu'i deen. Namaz, Roza, Hajj, Zakat, Khums, Jihad, Amr al-Ma'ruf, Nahy anil Munkar, Tawalla, and Tabara. These 10 branches of religion. That is what Islam is. And as long as these 10 branches of religion are carried out in the correct way and at the correct time, then we have nothing to fear. Why is it that we, as followers of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, why do we fear death? We shouldn't be fearing death. We should be welcoming death with open arms. Why? Because I will be meeting my Creator. Why? Because I will be meeting my Master, the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. Why should I fear death? Same when we are in transit. This earth is a period of transit. When we are in transit at an airport, at a different city, in a different country, what do? We make sure that we do not do anything that causes us to miss our connecting flight to our end destination. Why? Because the end destination is where our loved ones are. For example, where my family is. That is the end destination. Therefore, I will not do anything that causes me to miss my connecting flight. I'll make sure that I reach my gate before it's time. This earth is the same. It is a period of transit. Therefore, why are we carrying out deeds which will cause us to be in shame when we meet our Creator and when we meet our Lord on the Day of Judgment? That we wish to stand in front of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam with our heads held up high, knowing that I have practiced my religion the way that they have taught me. Amir al-Mu'mineen is what? Qasimun nar wal Jannah. Amir al-Mu'mineen is the one who will divide between heaven and hell. Therefore, how do I wish to meet Amir al-Mu'mineen? More importantly, how do I wish to meet Fatima al-Zahra salamullah alayhi? How do I wish to meet Hussein ibn Ali? In what position do I see myself? And said, am I able to change myself or not? Hold yourself accountable on a daily basis. The same way that you do your accounts on a daily basis or on a weekly basis with your income, or on a monthly basis. You look at your statement. You see your income, and then you see your expenses. If your expenses is greater than your income, what do? You look at your statement and you see which one of these expenses can I cut out, so that my balance remains in the green, in the positive. Every single one of us does it. That we are constantly striving to make sure that our bank balance is in the positive and does not go into negative. Why do we not do the same with our day-to-day life, with our deeds? Hold ourselves accountable. At the end of the day, at the end of the month, well, the month is too long, but on a daily basis or on a weekly basis. Create a diary for yourselves. Write down all the deeds which you have committed on the day, and then ponder upon them. Which one of these deeds go against Islam? Which one of these deeds are negative for my bank balance? That balance which will be shown to me on the day of judgment. Which one of these can I cross out? And which deed can I add to this account so that my account remains in the positive? And I always say that your bad deeds, never try to stop any act immediately, because there will reach a time within a week, 2 weeks, where you will go back to it. Stop your deeds slowly, to an extent where after a week, after 2 weeks, after a month, once you have put yourself into the habit of it, then you are no longer in need of it. You're no longer dependent upon it. That is how you cancel out your deeds. That is also how you start off your good deeds. Right? Like I said in the first lecture, though, in regards to namaz, those who do not recite namaz on a daily basis. Recite one namaz, it may take you a month for you to get into the habit of it. But after a month, you are now dependent upon that prayer. And you will constantly be reciting that prayer. This is how we bring change about in our lives. This is how we are able to better ourselves. And I say that every revolution begins from home. First, start with ourselves. Then we don't even need to physically go out and actively go out and try and change our community. Our community will start changing itself automatically after seeing you. And if someone in the community sees me doing something bad, and then all of a sudden they see that this person, or I am cutting out this bad deed, they themselves would realize, not hold on, this person is changing. Therefore, I must also change. It's mental, because we as human beings are constantly racing each other, competing against each other. If I see someone who is doing something good, I will try to beat him. It's the same with, if I see someone who has stopped committing a sin, I will make sure that I try and do the same. And this competition is good. But at times, within the competition starts a jealousy. Within that competition, we end up ruining our lives. For example, I see someone who's got a Mercedes. Therefore, I want one as well. I will do everything that I can to make sure that I'm able to own a Mercedes, not caring on the effects that it is happening on everything else around me. No. Look at those benefits without jealousy. Those benefits which are without jealousy are those which are in the name of religion. When I see someone praying namaz, I do not feel jealous. The first thing that comes to my mouth, in my mind, is a blessing for him. MashaAllah. This person is praying namaz. And second thought is that I must also try and do the same. Therefore, compete with each other in regards to religion. And make sure that you become the best at it. Today, we commemorate the martyrdom of Hussain ibn Ali. that Hussain ibn Ali that gave his life so that 1400 years on, we are able to practice his religion the way he wanted to. That had Hussain not given this sacrifice 1400 years on, do we really think that we would have been able to practice the religion of the Holy Prophet the way the Holy Prophet taught us? No. That time, the Khilafat of Muawiyah and Yazid is living proof. And that living proof also exists today, that their lineage, the way they are practicing the religion of Muawiyah and Yazid, is a perfect example for us. Not caring of what the religion of the Holy Prophet, what the Quran tells us, but whatever they wish, they force upon others. Yeah, there came a time where Hussain ibn Ali was forced to leave the holy city of Medina. He made the decision. Hussain ibn Ali had not yet reached a decision for a set country or city where he wanted to move. But the decision he made was that from Medina he would go to the city of Mecca, where he would complete his Hajj and then make his decision. According to history, the caravan of Hussain ibn Ali arrived in the city of Mecca in the first week of Sha'ban. 4th of Sha'ban is, numerous historians have written, is that 4th of Sha'ban is when Hussain ibn Ali arrived in the holy city of Mecca. And the people of Kufa, where the followers of Hussain ibn Ali were in the majority, realized at what had taken place in the holy city of Medina and how the Holy Prophet, how the Holy Imam had been forced to leave and had arrived in Mecca. Therefore the Kufans sent their emissaries, their ambassadors, to Hussain ibn Ali to invite him with the letters stating that, O son of the Holy Prophet, O Hussain ibn Ali, we are in need of an Imam. The city of Kufa is full of your followers, and we will provide for you the security and the safety that you're in need of. After receiving these letters, Imam Hassan sent his brother Muslim ibn Aqil as his ambassador to the holy city Kufa to see what the situation of Kufa is. Habib Muslim ibn Aqil arrived in the city of Kufa and he saw that the followers of Imam Hassan Islam are in the thousands. So he sends back a letter to Hussain ibn Ali saying that your followers are in the thousands and you should come here. Therefore Hussain ibn Ali made the decision that after completing of Hajj, he and his caravan would leave the city of Makkah and go towards Kufa. Yeah, there came a stage where the Imam has put on his ihram, is preparing for Hajj, and on the 8th of Dhul Hijj, he is informed that Yazid has sent assassins into the holy city to assassinate the Imam. The Imam, realizing this, changes his niyat from Hajj to Umrah, takes off his ihram and gives the orders that we must leave the holy city of Makkah. The companions came running to the Imam going, today's the 8th, you have 2 days, why are you leaving? The Imam replies that I am leaving because I must keep the sanctity of the holy city. This is the Imam, that he understands that the sanctity of the holy Kaaba must be kept. Therefore he leaves. Yet people are asking, why are you leaving? One sentence that the Imam constantly gave was Islāh ummati jaddi, that I'm leaving to change the mindset and correct the mindset of my grandfather's nation. And once again, the Imam of our time still exists, and he is there for the same purpose. And there comes a time where the caravan is traveling towards the city of Kufa, and it reaches an area called Thalbiyah, where the Imam stops, where there's a water fountain. The Imam stops to rest, and all of a sudden he sees 2 people coming towards him. They come towards the Imam welcomes them as his guest and asks, where are you from? They go, we are from the city of Kufa. The Imam asks, what is the situation of Kufa like? How is my brother Muslim ibn Aqil? The companions, the two guests, remain silent, looking towards the floor. The Imam realizes that Muslim ibn Aqil has been killed. He cries out, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. At that precise moment, the daughter of Muslim ibn Aqil enters. Imam Hassan calls upon the daughter of Muslim ibn Aqil, sits her on his lap, and starts to caress her head and kisses her on her forehead. Ruqayya, who was the daughter of Muslim ibn Aqil, looks towards her uncle and says, Oh uncle, why are you caressing me and kissing me as if I am an orphan? What has happened to my father? Hussain ibn Ali is not able to look at her. He replies, O daughter, from today onwards think of me as your father. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. رضا بقضائه وتسليما لأمره. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم أدخل على أهل القبور السرور. اللهم اغن كل فقير. اللهم اشف كل جائع. اللهم اكس كل عريان. اللهم اقض دين كل مدين. اللهم فرج عن كل مكروب. اللهم رد كل غريب. اللهم فك كل عسير. اللهم أصلح كل فاسد من أمور المسلمين. اللهم اشف كل مريض. اللهم سد فقرنا بغناك. اللهم غير سوء حالنا بحسن حالك. اللهم اقض عنا الدين واغننا من الفقر إنك على كل شيء قدير.